In recent days, Poland has suddenly suffered a terrible natural disaster that people will never forget. When heavy rains began to fall, who would have thought that this would be the beginning of a nightmare? From the rivers to the coast, floodwaters spilled into the village, washing away houses, roads, and many valuable assets of the people. Why would a country that has experienced so many difficulties suffer such a devastating flood? Let's explore every detail, every statistic, and a painful question about the people who have faced this disaster. Don't forget to leave your feelings under the comment section, and like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Heavy rains continued for days under the influence of a complex gas system from Western and Southern Europe. Not only in ordinary rain, this rainfield has a water volume of up to 150 to 200 mm, causing large and small rivers to quickly overflow. In areas such as Lesser Poland, Silesian and Subcarpathian, where the terrain is hilly and there are many rivers, rainfall exceeds the capacity of the Wisła River, the largest river in Poland. In just a few hours, floodwaters flooded into the densely populated area, submerging everything in its path. Damming and water protection systems have been tried, but they have not been able to reach their maximum strength to support this amount of water. Some of the dike lines ruptured, causing flash floods with tremendous speed and power. Images of turbid water swirling through trees, vehicles, and personal belongings have become a symbol of this disaster. This historic flash flood has caused untold property and infrastructure damage. An estimated 5,000 houses were completely flooded. Many people lost everything in just a few hours. Route traffic, including 200 kilometers of road, has been canceled or unusable. Some bridges in the Silesian and Subcarpathian regions were disrupted, disrupting movement between the regions. The floodwater was deeply flooded, not only hindering research activities, but also creating goods that had to be evacuated to safety in maximum confusion. The situation worsened when hundreds of schools, hospitals, and government headquarters were flooded, forcing local authorities to halt all activities. All resources have been mobilized to the maximum to support the stranded and needy people. Thousands of firefighters, police, and military were mobilized to assist in evacuation and rescue operations, but the work was also fraught with difficulties because of extreme weather conditions and dividing routes. Not only personal property damage, this flood also has a profound impact on the economy and the environment. Vast crop fields, with a total area of about 25,000 hectares, have been deeply submerged in floodwaters. Livestock farms were submerged, thousands of families and poultry died, leading to serious damage to agriculture, one of the major economic importance in Poland. The environment also suffered a major failure. Floodwaters carried soil, rocks, waste, and chemicals from industrial parks and farms, plowing into the Wisła River and its tributaries. This causes serious environmental pollution, affecting domestic water sources and underwater ecosystems. Scientists worry that the consequences of this infection will be prolonged, with the risk of causing mass fish deaths and water degradation, affecting the lives of millions of people. In addition to complicated developments, this flood also leaves many unforgettable pains for people who directly experienced the disaster. From the wetlands, each emotional story and traumatic image emerged, etched into the memories of thousands of people. Many families were suddenly separated at the moment when the floodwater rushed in, not being able to bring any valuable property or memorabilia. Fathers, mothers. The breath hunts for their children. The old and frail helplessly watch the water saturate everything around them. Those are moments that no one wants to think about, but have to be turned against when nature is angry, even in that moment of life and death. Facing heavy pressure, working nonstop, they go deep into dangerous areas, overcoming all difficulties to save people from danger. They witness the tearful eyes, the frightened eyes, and the helplessness of those who have lost everything. For many of them, this is not only a task, but also empathy for the victims, because everyone has a family, and there are precious things they want to protect. The September floods have left a painful mark on Polish history. The damage to property and the environment is obvious, but the emotional pain is immeasurable. People lost their homes, lost their loved ones, and even lost hope in the most difficult time. However, this weather disaster also shows the strong spirit of solidarity of the Polish people, as they not only look for each other, but also overcome difficult days together. The Polish government and the international community have assisted in dealing with the consequences of this flood. It was a long and full act of consciousness, but the mighty God of the Polish people was the motivation for them to stand up and rebuild from the ashes. The September floods will still come for years to come, as a reminder of the cruelty of nature and the meaning of humanity in the most difficult times.